Hi, Ironbound Jim. Hope things are going well for you. We are continuing on our journey of learning Tai Chi for lower back pain, Tai Chi for arthritis. We've gotten through the first section, so let's begin. Get our posture, balance, and breathing. And if this is your first time, you can just go back and review the prior 2 or 3 lessons, and it'll catch you right up. Visible line around the outsides of your feet. Everything inside is your foundation. Feet parallel, shoulder width apart. Just really connected and grounded to the earth, either through the bubbling wells in the center of the forefoot with an energetic connection, that acupressure point, or those 3 points in the foot where you root. Ball of the foot at the base, the little toe, ball of the foot at the base of the big toe in the center of the heel, just drilling down into the earth, making you very sturdy, very connected, very grounded. Arches high enough so that your knees are pointed in the same direction, and your toes and everything we do, knees and toes will be in the same direction. And knees will always be behind the toes, so if we step out, you keep your knee behind your toe. You don't lean your knees forward. And always going to keep our head over that foundation too. We're not going to lean forward at the waist. We're going to keep our torso and head perpendicular to the floor. Ground ourselves upwards. We use the Ba Wei, crown chakra from yoga, if that helps. Line pulling you straight up, an energetic connection pulling you straight up, grounding you towards the heavens, making changes in your body. Hips become parallel to the floor, tailbone drops, hips move back, stomach flattens, lower back flattens. Gives your spine more of a J shape. There's a culture in India, because of the way they walk, their spine is naturally J-shaped. They never have back pain. Other cultures don't walk that way, have more of an S shape. And typically at some point in their life, most folks have back pain. And sometimes when you try to change a form, like if you're running and you try to change your stride, it opens you up to injury. So if anything feels uncomfortable, don't do it. Just relax into what feels best for you and stay in whatever parameters. Remember that 70% rule, the parameters that keep you safe and healthy. Tops of your shoulders become parallel to the floor. Shoulder blades relax down your back. Shoulders relax down. Eyes and ears parallel to the floor. The line pulls you up and lifts the back of your head, tucks your chin in, pushes your head back a bit. So if you drop a line from that Ba Wei right straight down through the middle of your neck, through the center of your body, through the perineum, the other end of that string, or the end of the pendulum, should hit the floor right in the middle of your foundation. So you're in a central neutral position, equally balanced in all directions. And one of the principles in Tai Chi is that you're in harmony with gravity. You're not doing any extra work to stay upright, so you want your body in balance with the earth and with gravity. Anytime you're out of balance and you're tilted, your body's having to make compensations in various parts of your body to keep you upright. Anytime you're tensed anywhere, other parts of your body have to make compensation. So just do a quick body scan. If you feel any tightness anywhere, any tension anywhere, just breathe into it and let it soften. Relax all the muscles in your face. Focus on your breath. You're going to do abdominal breathing, where you inhale down about hip level all the way around, so you feel your stomach expand, maybe even your sides and your lower back expand. But don't try to inhale as deeply as you can. Just keep that comfortable too. We're going to breathe in through the nose, unless there's some kind of pollen high right now, unless there's a hay fever is kind of getting you. But that starts to warm up the air, add some moisture to it, starts to filter it. Chinese medicine, you touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth to connect the conception and governing vessels with your energy channels. Doesn't matter if you believe that. Western medicine, they have you touch your tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth to disengage the muscles in your jaw so you can't clench your teeth and wind up with TMJ, temporomandibular joint syndrome, which is very painful. On the exhale, you want to move as much air out as you can because Qigong tells you you're both about bringing in clean energy, getting rid of stagnant energy. That's in Chinese medicine, they say illness and injury is a function of blocked Qi. So one of the goals of all this is to get energy, blood, lymph, nerve impulses all moving unimpeded through your body to get anything stagnant and used up out. So sometimes gas may expel, sometimes you may end up having to go to the bathroom, and that means you're doing it in a skillful way. Don't worry about trying to do things exactly right. You're not going to look like anyone else, and you won't look like how you're performing it now is when you play with it, even 10 minutes from now. If you're paying attention to what you're doing and doing it in a mindful, focused kind of way. What you're looking for is just to improve your skill. So in the exhale, you pull the pelvic floor up to move as much of that stagnant air out as you can. And if you want, you can breathe out through your mouth. You release the tongue and sigh. With that sound, you let whatever tightness is inside, whatever tension is inside, just relax and flow out of your body and dissipate so that you increase your sense of calmness and relaxation. So just breathe at your own pace. If you feel any tightness, any tension anywhere in your body, just breathe into it and let it soften. Just follow me. We'll start at the top and work our way down. Inhale up as your palms face. Shoulder high. Turn your hands towards you as you press in. You drop the elbows. You push your head back a little bit to feel some movement in your neck. Remember, don't fully compress the joint. There's always some softness there. Turn your hands. You press outwards. And again, you don't fully extend your arms. You do have an expansion in the joints. That principle of Song to kind of open and close the joints so that you get the synovial fluid moving. But you don't lock the joint, that can hyperextend it and injure it. You don't compress the joint, that can injure it as well. Press out, feel those shoulders expand too. As your hands come back down, you tuck your chin just a bit to feel some more movement in your neck. Inhale up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center. Second one for your neck. Arms come up, palms facing. One arm, either one, it doesn't matter. Drops down, palm faces towards the floor. There's a bend in the wrist, so you activate acupressure point in your wrist. Pull the other arm over so the Lao Gong point where your fingers touch your palm lines up with the third eye or the upper dantian elixir field energy channel, that magnetic field associated with your brain. Keep those 2 points lined up as you turn just your head and your arms 70% of your range of motion to the side. Feel some movement in your neck. Exhale off to the side. Inhale to the center. Lower hand comes up, palms face briefly. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to the center. 2 more on each side. Let your arms come back down by your sides. Shoulder rolls are the next one. Trying to get where the sun's not right in my eyes. Remember, if you have rotator cuff injuries, just rotate your arms so your palms are facing behind you. And you make the shoulder rolls with your elbows to move your shoulders around. You want to keep the rotators as healthy as you can. But otherwise, it's just forward shoulder rolls. Loosen up the shoulders of the neck. And then reverse, shoulder rolls to the back. And then inhale up, exhale down. Exhale down, there's even a little bit of a squat. Remember, you keep your body perpendicular to the floor though, so there's a little bit of a bend in the knees and hips, so you're not leaning over. From shoulders to the back. You hold the ball, either hand on top, it doesn't matter. Lower hand rotates up, presses up, upper hand presses down. Nice stretch to the center as you inhale, exhale. Second for the back is that side-to-side motion, moving only from the hips up. Everything from the hips down stays nice and still. Got this hand on top, so I rotate until the hips and the hands line up. I rotate the hands around, keeping the palms facing and those loud going points connected. Come to the other side. You can synchronize your breathing so you're inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Back to the center. Hands go to one side like you're going to press into a wall. Shift all your weight into the foot on that side. We want to feel some movement in the hips. So this leg's going to go out. This is a substantial foot. It's holding all my weight. I'm centered in that foot. This is the empty foot. No weight in that. Come back to the center. That's an exhale. Inhale. Remember, you're working on balance. You can just let your foot go out. It doesn't have to touch, but again, stay in your comfort zone, and again, you keep yourself centered so you're not leaning to counterbalance. You're focusing on the hip. Palms down. Hands go back. Weight goes into one foot, doesn't matter either one. Empty foot goes forward, heel touches. Foot goes straight back, arms go straight forward, forefoot touches. And if you're working on balance, it's like a pendulum going from front to back. Arms are the counterweights. Back to the center, other side. And remember, all the movements are like you're moving through a gentle resistance, like you're moving through water. Feet are in that position with the toes towards the corner, space between the heels, just like at the beginning of Sun style. Fists at the hips, shift your weight into one foot, other foot rotates on the forefoot. Steps up, forefoot touches, punch with the opposite arm. Come back. It's for your knees. But it also loosens up other body parts too. And the second for the knees is going into that forward bow and arrow or archer stance. So shift your weight over. Step up. Punch with the opposite arm, keeping your body perpendicular to the floor. Get that nice stretch in. Come back. It's an exhale and an inhale. If you accidentally punch with the same side as the foot going forward, that's fine. Whenever I'm trying to follow somebody else, I don't know why, there's a tendency to do that. It's almost easier to do when you're not watching somebody. If you've ever done fencing, you know, you do it on the same side. It's a little counterintuitive, but it's done to counterbalance, so you keep yourself equally, as best you can, equally weighted each side. Back to the center. Shift your weight into one foot for the ankle. First it's a heel and toe on one side. Same thing on the other side. And then for the lateral motion, the ankles, outside, inside, the foot touches close to the same spot on the floor as you can. And then just shake everything out. You can squeeze your hands. I don't think I did that this time. Where you're smiling and saying hello to everybody. My dog Leo has wandered off, so I didn't have him to smile at and say hey to. He's usually watching me through the window there. Okay, so we've gotten through the whole first part, and we'll do it twice, and I'll try to mirror you the first time. So when I step up with my right foot, you'll be stepping up with your left foot. Nice and centered in a Wuji position, and begin. Open, close, and single whip. To wave hands like clouds going to your right. Open, close, shift your weight right, step left, extend your arms, palms turn out, separate that curtain into single whip, eyes look back to the right, left hand takes in the left foot, shoulder width apart, and then step. Remember the foot comes completely off the ground and the toes point towards the front, feet stay parallel, shoulder width apart. And wave hands like clouds. Open, close. You step to the side, you do want to, as best you can, keep your feet parallel and toes towards the front. There's sometimes an inclination when you're stepping to the side to want to do this. That's section 2 that we're going to start today. You do want to keep your feet parallel and waving hands like clouds. So I'll face away from you. We'll do it one more time. And then we'll get into brush knee push or brush knee twist step, which is the next movement. Nice and relaxed. And begin. Step left, step right, open. Close. Shift your weight left, a little step towards the right corner. Extend your arms, palms out, hands separate. Single whip. Shift your weight left, right hand takes in that right foot. And then step. 2, 3. Open, close, single whip, and wave hands. Open, close. One thing to remember in wave hands, there's two versions of shoulder width. I think we've talked about that before, but just to review. There's kind of the closer version of shoulder width where the outsides of the feet line up with the outsides of the shoulder. Step out with either foot, the width of your foot. Now the insides of your feet line up with the outsides of your shoulder, and that's kind of a wide shoulder width. So when we're doing wave hands like clouds, we're basically going from one version of shoulder width to the other. You'll see people do it this way, bring their foot all the way in. Some teachers I've had do it that way, some don't. I kind of like that you don't, because remember, it's a martial art. You want to be able to stay on your feet. The closer you are, your feet are together, the smaller my foundation is, the easier it is to get me off my feet. With this, I've got a little more stability left and right. With this, I don't have stability left, right, or front, back. But here, when I'm doing the silk reeling, then I've got the stability in all directions. The other thing, the health part of this, in every movement there's a health part, a martial part, and a philosophy part of yin yang. The hu yin, or the perineum. When you bring your feet in, you close that off, and in Chinese medicine that would be closing that energy off, and you don't want to do that. So you always want some space. So remember, you never close your arms in. You pretend you have tennis balls or eggs under there. You don't want to drop the tennis balls. You don't want to crush the eggs, so you don't bring your arms in. Same kind of thing with the groin as with the underarms. You don't want to crush the eggs or squeeze that tennis ball. You want to have space in there, and that's the health part of it. Brush knee push, sometimes called brush knee twist step. I'll face you. Actually, I'll face to the side, and I'll end up doing it. So at the end of open and close, the reason it's called twist step is because your body twists all the way so it's facing directly ahead. In a lot of movements, the body's facing towards a corner. So we're going to go, you can go left or right. In the official video, they go to the left in this section. All the classes I've had, we kind of put it to a vote, at least for the first few years. People always want to go to the right because they want to have every section going in the same direction to make it easier to remember. So I've just sort of adopted that and adapted to it that way. I'll do the feet first. It's a shift your weight into one foot. You adjust the other foot to 45 degrees going in that direction. Shift your weight back and you turn at the waist on that center axis. Bring the other foot in for a T-step. The reason we're doing all this is to keep it easy on the knees. I had one gentleman who studied chin style. He didn't do that adjustment at all. He just stepped to the side. Because in chin style, they don't do 45-degree foot. Oftentimes they'll do 90-degree feet. Our knees typically don't handle that so well over time. So weight shift, adjust that weightless foot to 45, then shift your weight back into it. Heel naturally comes up on the other foot. As you turn, you bring that foot in, toe down, and you step up and we go into a bow and arrow stance. As you shift your weight into it, the unique thing, well, about Wu style and Sun style is a follow step. So I'll face away from you so you can see it left and right. Shift your weight, adjust that left foot, shift your weight back left, come in for a T-step to rebalance. If you don't need to do that, that's okay. You turn, step however far is distance for you, is comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be a very far distance. As you shift your weight, there's a follow step. Tai Chi walking in Sun style, you can do it in place. It's follow steps. When you step up, the back foot comes up. When the forefoot touches, the heel is off the ground. When you step back, front foot comes in, the forefoot's down, and the heel is up. Now remember when we've done bow and arrow stance, it's very important to have your feet separated. With Sun style, if you have issues with your hip and you bring that foot in a little bit, so if I drop my foot, the heels are lined up. But because that heel is up, I still have some lateral stability, not as much. But so you do want to have some space between there. The other thing is on the follow step, if that heel is at that line, I don't want to bring the back foot further than that line. If I bring it up here, that's going to cause me problems because I'm going to have to turn back and I'm going to end up stepping on my feet, one foot on the other. So Tai Chi walking Sun style, you step up, follow step, step back, follow step. This is the footwork for the first two movements in part 1 of section 2. We'll do open and close. Shift one hand. You can do either hand because we're going to be doing it in both directions eventually anyway. But it's up like you're going to hold the tray. Other arm folds over. Fingertips are pointed towards your forearm. This hand, palm up, is higher than this hand, palm down. Palm down hand's going to come around. It's going to sweep past the hip. It's going to take that foot out and around and plant it straight ahead. They're going to move together. What you don't want to do is leave this hand in and just move the foot. So remember, hand and foot move together. And then hand and foot move together. Push. The brush knee in any form other than chin style. Chin style, they're so low they do brush past the knee. Others, it's kind of brushing past the thigh or brushing past the hip. So I'll mirror you. You're going to go to your right as I go to my left. We'll do open, close, weight shift right to get those hands adjusted. Weight comes back, T-step, turn, right hand takes the right foot around, presses the down toe straight ahead, shift your weight into it, push, and a follow step. As this hand comes past your head, you're doing something called settling your wrist. It comes past, first it's palm down, then it goes palm out, like that. More force when it comes past, but also you activate an acupressure point in your wrist. And that's the help part of this. So you have major acupressure points in your wrists. So we want to get those activated. What you're doing is just brushing someone out of the way and then wham. Pretty straightforward. I'll mirror you. Open, close, brush knee, push. Do it one more time. 2 more times. Open, close, shift your weight right, adjust your left foot. Right hand takes the right foot around. Push. Once more. Open, close, shift your weight right, adjust your left foot. Right hand takes the right foot around. Push. The next movement is one of the more simple movements. We've already done the footwork. It's that step back. So at the end of brush knee push, and the next one is called playing the peepaw or hand strums the lute. Just adjust your hands so the palms are facing as you step back. As you shift your weight back, the hand in front drops down, comes back, the lower hand comes up, and you wind up like this. Long point lines up with acupressure point in the forearm. So it's brush knee, play the lute. Brush knee, play the lute. That pair of movements are ones you can do back to back like I just did. You can try them in both directions on your own over the course of the week, because part 2 of section 2 you're going to be doing it to the left instead of to the right. Open, close, go to your right, I'll go to my left. Brush knee, play the lute. Brush knee, play the lute. If you Google peepaw, and it's spelled P-I-P-A, you'll discover it's a Chinese stringed instrument, and this is basically where your hands are when you're playing it. Let's go the other direction. Open, close, adjust your foot, T-step, push, peepaw. Sometimes Chinese instructors will just say peepaw. Martial intention is locking an elbow, dislocating a shoulder. Okay, let's I'll face away. We'll do it all the way through up to there. And we'll call it a day. Just relax, get yourself nice and centered. And begin. Open, close, single whip to the right, eyes look to the left, wave hands like clouds going to the right. 1, 2, 3. Open, close, single whip. Wave hands going back where we started. Open, close. First part of section 2. Shift your weight right, adjust that left foot to 45 degrees. Hands like you're going to throw a pie at somebody. Actually, one person in class years ago renamed this throw the pizza. So you can come up with names that work better for you. You can do that. Right hand takes that right foot around. You can pause to work on balance. Press it down on the floor. Get it rooted. Shift your weight. Little follow step. Settle your wrist. Brush knee push. Step back. Adjust your hands. Play the peepaw or hand strums the lute. Just come back to the center. So be sure to practice. And since this is online, you can review it. You know, if you're like me, as soon as you walk out of a class, you've forgotten stuff. And it's like, I don't remember exactly how that went. So I have to go back and review and review and review. I basically learn by repetition. Don't think too much. It can make it harder too. Just kind of flow into it and feel your way into it. Let's cool down a little bit. Come up on your toes. Squeeze your fists as you inhale. Tense everything up. Exhale. Let everything relax. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Loosen up your legs. We'll do the Tai Chi swing. Just because it's fun. There's times I've come into classes and people are already doing this. And that's been at Ironbound, it's been at retirement communities, it's been at William & Mary. Folks kind of like this particular movement the most, for the most part. Back to the center. I always like to follow with one where you're like holding a really big ball, moving your hips, loosening up your lower back a little bit too. And then we balance everything out. Let's do 6. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe and well. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.